Giesinger, and today we are continuing our author read aloud of Xavie of Shamain. We are diving into part 2 with chapter 2. If you're new here and want to stay up to date on my writing journey, you can join my newsletter at the link below. Last time we got to know Yalna and learned that Yalonde was pregnant, unplanned. So let's see what is happening in part 2. Chapter 2. While it is an option for both parents of a youngster to live in an exclusive partnership, it is not prevailing. In other cultures, on other planets, at other times, an exclusive partnership between a couple may be idealized. But on Boreas, starting sometime in the latter 4th epoch, a more holistic approach is predominant. In this approach, the tribe to which an individual belongs is there for the emotional, the ideological, the social requirements. These are decoupled and independent from physical and sexual needs. While two individuals are the biological parents of the youngling, all of the tribe is involved in the upbringing and educating of the young. While it is fairly common that mothers take care of the young, they as well might decide to contribute to society and leave the upbringing of their young to the community. As mostly mothers stay with and educate the young, they also take over the other community responsibilities, including deciding in cases of disputes, deciding on community priorities, tending to communal fruit, vegetable and herb gardens, coordinating projects and repairs in the village, and over time, some are inducted into the Order of Elders, becoming advisors to all members of the tribe they serve and representing the tribe. Boreaspedia, 22nd edition. 16th December 02, 5th epoch. Yalonde. The calculated due date of December 12th came and passed. Nothing to be concerned about. Youngsters have their own schedule. They don't care what our averages, our wishes, our plans are. My youngster has gotten big. I knew that carrying them in your belly hinders you, but until you actually experience it, one can't comprehend what it means, how much of a limitation this imposes, and how much you wish to be done with it. Contrary, it's absolutely astounding to experience the growing of this life right there below your heart. While the sages are pretty good at predicting the gender of the youngling once you are in your 3rd trimester, I opted to not know. It is a festival youngster that is unexpected, or should I say, I did not need to be told. I am certain, I was always certain, it will be a male. I have been certain since long before I could feel him move. I can't explain, I just know. Is this the motherly instinct everyone is talking about? This tether, this connection, this intangible, invisible, unquantifiable, inexplicable bond connecting you to your own flesh and blood, far more profound than anything else? My labor started yesterday, on the 15th, in the early morning. The early stages with fairly normal progression. And then, after 12 hours, it stops. I'm in a labor stall. What the actual fuck? I would not mind being done by now, but I know better. For a first pregnancy, I have seen time and again in the last few months that it takes longer than that. Well, let's get some rest. Every moment is precious. It's around midnight when I'm jostled awake by painful contractions. Awesome. I wait to see if it is a single burst or if we are picking up again. Yep, no more rest for the wicked. By around 7 in the morning on the 16th, I'm thoroughly exhausted. I'm ready to walk away and let someone else finish this damned birthing thing. I've had enough. Yeah, another contraction. Shortly after 8, Serena lays a crying, beautiful baby male, my Xavie, into my arms. Indigo eyes that just make everybody hesitate and stare for a moment. A hint of hair, and everything looks healthy and as it should. I need some rest. I'm holding Xavie on my chest, having resting on top of me, with his scent in my nose, his skin on my skin. The exhaustion is catching up to me. My eyelids are too heavy. The voices of the others in the room become more and more muffled, disappearing into a background hum. I jolt wide awake, heart pounding. What is going on? What is wrong? Xavie is restless. The time is 9:15. The curtains are drawn, plunging the room into twilight. Is there a problem with Xavie? He is quiet but restless. Try feeding him, Serena suggests from her place in an armchair in the corner between door and window. Yep, that was it. A couple mouthfuls and Xavie calms down. Serena watches us with a frown on her face. For the next couple of days, I rest for short periods and take care of Xavie. The pregnant women in the house take care of us, same as I cared for the ones that gave birth before me. Xavie eats okay, I think, but he does not cry. At all. It is a steady paying attention for him to get somewhat restless that gives the indication. After a bit more than a week, I'm mostly healed and recovered, so we move into the house of the newborn. By that time, I have a good sense of when and what Xavie needs. As is custom, this is also the time friends and family celebrate the new arrival. It's never a formal or extensive affair, more a dropping in by all at the same time. Besides best wishes, customary are small tokens with a message or teaching attached to them that may lead the new young in their life. It is on this occasion that I see Eris lingering outside in the gardens, observing and waiting. At one time I see her talking with Serena. Something is up. Definitely. Serena probably knows and decides on a course of allowing time and distance, not to push or get involved. I trust Serena there implicitly. She has seen dozens, if not hundreds, of difficult situations between folks, so I simply wait for Eris to deem the time right. Eris elects to finally join once nearly everyone else is gone. Hi Eris, it's okay. We'll talk in a moment. Hi Yalonde. What? Okay, I guess. As most, she is sidetracked once she sees Xavie's eyes. Once all but Eris are gone, I say, Eris, close the door please. I take it this is not for anybody else to hear. After closing the door, she turns on me and narrows her eyes. I confront her. Something has been eating at you for some time. Spit it out. What's up? No point in avoiding it. His eyes, they are indigo, a vibrant indigo. How? What? Yes, they are. I have no idea how or why, but that is not what you're brooding on. I let it trail off to bring the conversation back to what is important right now. She leans against the dresser in the room and cocks her head at me, narrowing her eyes into slits. This usually means she is unsure or does not know how to react to a situation because she did not expect it. That is the point. I'm not sure what it is. We have done all kinds of shit, got ourselves in plenty of trouble, and through it all, we knew the other is right there with us. All was clear, we had our plans, and everything was good. But, I prod. But what? You got pregnant, bloody druid. She jumps up and starts pacing, always her tell that she's agitated. You're supposed to go traveling, see the world, send me letters and pictures and stories from all over Boreas. I was the one to stay here. I was the one to start a family. I never wanted to leave. You were supposed to come back to Shamain, to me and my family, once you had enough of traveling. But you got pregnant. You have a youngster. Where does this leave me? Are you serious? Are you for real? I ask. Shit, yes I am. What now? She runs her hands through her hair. Are our roles switched? Do you expect me to travel, do your part of exploring the world? All our plans are for shit. Not really, I shake my head. Where is this coming from? No, I did not plan on getting pregnant or having a youngster yet. It happened anyway. But this does not mean anything for you has changed. I needed to rearrange when I will go travel Boreas. I'll do it after my youngster is of age. But nothing needs to change for you. I know how dear it is for you to have your own family, how much you have been looking forward to it. This does not need to change. It should not change. But I'm not going to be the first with a youngster, am I? Eris spits. Obviously. Is this what is eating at you? I ask cautiously. I guess so, she exhales and deflates. This was the one thing that I never would have expected to be contested. And then you just grabbed it. Was this your plan all along? What? No, of course not, I shake my head. I did not plan on getting pregnant. I did not want to get pregnant. I should not have gotten pregnant. I was at the end of my cycle. I had the tea and it was on the festival, so I had to trust all the males had their tea as well. Tell me what I missed. You did not plan to take this from me? Eris whispers. No, it has nothing to do with you. It was unexpected. But once I knew, it just felt right. I could not consider the tea for after. Even if it meant changing everything for me, I confess, equally in a whisper. You did not plan this. She shakes her head in thought, then she turns and leaves without another word. Okay then, I guess we continue this conversation once Eris has her head wrapped around this. By now, Xavie is on an about 3-hour cycle. Sleeping for 2.5 hours, feeding, being up for half an hour, and then repeat. Eat, sleep, poop on repeat. He still does not cry at all. Serena, or one of the other sages, checks in at least once daily. This is not normal, but Serena also does not answer my inquiries about what is going on. Xavie and I will be staying in the house of the newborn for approximately the first year, getting and giving the support we need. We help each other, take care of each other and our newborns. Nobody needs to fend for themselves. Nobody is alone, nobody is on their own. I think Xavie develops well, albeit differently. He is noticeably quieter than the other young. At times he has a vacant look to him, does not react to anything going on. I can't say why, but it feels to me like he has issues processing what his senses are telling him. No matter what, he is my joy. He is growing. He is progressing. He is learning. Sure, it could be more, could be different, could be whatever. Does not need to mean anything, right? By the time Xavie is 10 weeks old, the differences from other youngsters become more noticeable. The more time passes, the more pronounced they get. Serena and the other more experienced in-resident women become concerned. They say this could mean he might be deaf or mute. Only time will tell. I'm certain he is neither. I can feel him reacting, just not outward. Or is this not the instinctive motherly bond, but instead wishful thinking? As time passes, the more I question this, the more uncertain I get. And the more uncertain I get, the more I question it. It's a vicious circle. I start to observe or imagine that Xavie's eyes grow a tad darker when he is in one of his vacant moments, when it feels to me he has issues processing. In these moments, he also does not react well to touch, shies away as if it is not painful, but too much. At 15 weeks, Xavie's growth is alright, but slower. He eats, but it could be more. He reacts somewhat to sound, but not much. He voices something, but not similarly to the others. He sleeps well, but not as much. There is always something that could be different. What does it mean, though? Surely with time it will equalize, grow out. He still makes Xavie, my flesh and blood. He grows and progresses. So does my unease. Serena and the sages do not ease this as I'd imagine they would. No, they exacerbate it. Instead of reassuring me, they tell me that him holding his head up and focusing on me happened a few days later than at the age of 4 months. But what does it matter? These times in their tables are averages, not a schedule. Every young develops differently at their own pace. So what if Xavie does this a few days late? He's my Xavie, my baby, the most perfect youngling there is. And I don't understand why they get in a near panic when Xavie does not lift himself up on his arms and roll onto his back at the time those cursed tables prescribe, or when he does not focus on others or objects on that damn schedule. The sages start to check in multiple times a day for this, and every time they ask if he did finally do it. It starts to make me nervous that they are this insistent, and honestly it starts to get annoying. I know in my bones that Xavie is developing at his own pace. To my relief, about 2 weeks after the schedule calls for it, at an age of close to 5 months, Xavie does these things. I have to admit Xavie looks a bit more fragile, a little less filled out than other young of about the same age. There are 2 that are 8 and 10 days older than him, and 3 that are 7 days younger. And out of all 6, my Xavie is the most delicate one, and the quietest. He is also the only one who does not react to loud noises, just goes into one of his dark-eyed moments. I contemplate whether to tell Serena about it, but given the constant hovering, the constant badgering, I decide not to. It is nothing I can put my finger on, that I can show. It is a feeling I have, an instinct. The sages somewhat relax their steady hovering to check his progress, and instead are content that I tell them when Xavie does the next thing they are looking for. It's like a race from goalpost to goalpost for the sages. I don't get why everyone has to be the same. Surely personality has to count for something, and the fact that the step is achieved is more important than when it was achieved. The longer this goes, the more the nervousness and concern of the sages transfers to me. I don't like it. It makes me uneasy and short-tempered. He holds up his head for longer periods in the first half of April, but only starts following dangling or swinging objects in the second half of April. The good news is he turns his head to sounds. While belated, it means he's not deaf. Curiously, loud sounds still don't elicit any form of reaction from him. When Xavie is 6 months old, I can report to Serena that he did in fact roll from his tummy to the sides, or the left side at least, and that he sat up on the same day, no less. The acknowledgement is far less enthusiastic than I expected. Apparently this is 3 to 4 weeks late, and his weight is too low, and his growth could be better. Gah! Do they only look for what is not right, what is not to their plan? Why can't they look at how he is enjoying the mobile, and keeps watching it, transfixed? Is this a first glimpse at what his life will be, because of his eyes, scrutinized with no end? The further along it gets, the more Xavie's development lags. While the sages keep pointing it out, I'm just happy with my Xavie. At least that is what I try to convince myself of. If I'm being honest, each single one of the sages being concerned does not foster happiness or being content with the situation. Even I can't discuss away that something is not right by 4, when Xavie is 10 months old. He is too asthenic. Even youngsters 2 months younger look larger and chubbier compared to my Xavie. The good news is that he is neither deaf nor mute, but he is quiet, much quieter than any other young any of the elders or the sages have seen. Ever. What seems to help is being in a group with other young. Xavie is observant, and with time it appears he is replicating what he is seeing others do, as unheard of and odd as this is at his age, or at all. One distinctive difference between Xavie and all other young is that he does not at all react well to physical sensations. No swinging, no rocking, no tickling. Doing any such thing causes a deeply terrified reaction on his part. Not just terrified, but a complete locking up. I can't describe it better. It goes deep, and I can feel it in him, deeply. It is decided at 12 months old that Xavie and I won't be moving into the house of the young until Xavie is at the right development level, no matter the age in months. Schedule be damned. Just after the Esta festival in March of Xavie's second year, when he is 15 months old, one of the rovers of Boreas comes to Shamain. They occasionally appear in our village. While their attire for some reason is only somewhat similar, their preachings are eerily similar to their core. It feels like they are trying too hard to appear unrelated. It is just odd. This rover starts preaching about the right way of choices and the wrong way of choices. According to his teachings, the wrong way is that females have any say in fertility control or the choice of partner. These are the choices that belong to the stronger gender, the male. It is also wrong that females lay with more than one partner. The right of having multiple partners belongs to males only. The Shamanians let him talk. Talking by itself does not cause harm. And the sages know, come the next festival, a reckoning will happen. More noteworthy is how some of the males in the tribe pick up this rover's talk. Take it seriously, without thinking. There is this one instance when a no by one of the mothers is not accepted out in the veggie gardens. It is a middle-aged male who has difficulties understanding. I guess a band of mothers with gardening tools can be pretty convincing. The following day, while out bringing some leftover fruit to the house of the young, I overhear two males talking before I turn a corner. I guess they are just standing there yapping. The first one says, there is only one way to deal with the many females. We need to all get two for ourselves and the rest of them get used by all of us. The second one grunts, yeah, right. And if we don't like any of the ones we have for ourselves anymore, we just put them in the pool and select another one. Exactly, the first one agrees. Well, I've heard enough. Not keen on stupid comments, I choose a different path. But that is also not right. It should not be even a consideration, me avoiding this situation. The most astonishing one, though, is what Eris overheard. We're talking occasionally, not like we did before Xavie. We still have not mended our relationship, yet. She is certain it was Elder Salas she overheard theorizing with the rover about bringing back the rule by a distinctive male elite to control all others and having an elevated status. Of course, this includes that this elite would choose out of all females as they desire. Even the ones in a steady relationship with a male would be available. And the lesser male should be honored that their female is utilized by the elite. Gah, gives me the creeps. Shut up, I tell Eris, and need to shake it off. Yeah, it is creepy, she nods. And you're sure it was Elder Salas? That sounds so foreign that an elder would even entertain such thinking. I asked, disbelieving. Yes, I'm absolutely certain. I nearly collided with him coming around the corner. No chance of mistaking him. Eris confirms. Then the day before the fire festival, on the 7th of May, all the blabbermouth and the rover come to the sages for their fertility-inhibiting teas, apparently seeking the aid of females, and this is acceptable. The sages just look at each of them one by one and ask if they are sure they'll need it. Of course they do. They are sure of it. It is their natural right. On the evening of the festival, each and everyone has a reckoning of why they don't need the fertility tea after all. There is a very simple, very secure natural process of preventing procreation. They don't get a single chance. And the ones that try to demand or attempt to take learn there is strength in unity. Simple. As there are at least two involved, it can't be that only one is allowed an opinion or choice. Both have a say. And as typical, naturally, biologically, the planning of the next few years is more disrupted on the female part. They can't be excluded. They should not be excluded. They must not be excluded. Safe to say, the rover was yet again a rover, only a few days after the festival, and some folks in Shamain had learned a lesson. The sages knew, the sages observed, the sages were right. Again. A week after the fire festival, I have to agree with all the sages that additional advice should be sought if Xavie's development does not pick up soon. I, being anxious and the most concerned by now, want to know what additional advice there is and insist on defining soon with a date. It is my Xavie we're talking about, after all. Serena promises to consult with the elders. After some consideration and discussion, I set the date to the Lunasa festival, which will be August 11th this year. Xavie's development keeps lagging, but the delay seems to stabilize somewhat. The sages note this as a positive change from the ever-increasing delay. Serena tells me that some of the elders have heard of an old healer that has experience with delayed youngster development. Details are sparse, and the reliability of the information is questionable at best. The good news is that this healer is within a few days of travel from Shamain. Serena is not convinced. She tries to get more details about the old healer, more details about his experience, more details about his qualifications. Details are not forthcoming. Serena is not convinced this healer is worth the trip. She thinks he might be a charlatan, if he exists at all. Lunasa Festival, 11th August 04, 5th epoch. Come the Lunasa Festival, Xavie's development is lagging by around 4 months or even a bit more, according to Serena. At close to 20 months, he can barely stand, although he should be able to walk alone by now. Nor does he speak. Yes, he is making sounds, but no words yet. Being desperate, I decide to seek out this old healer and learn for myself what he knows, whether there is help to be found. If I can find him, we could not even get confirmation of his existence or a name. Worst case, I'm spending a few days on the road and will call it a mini vacation. And that brings us to the end of today's reading. Xavie is certainly giving Yalonde a lot to think about and to be concerned about. If you want to explore more of this world, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter at the link in the description. It's where I share all my secret projects and early updates first. Next time, we'll see, hopefully, if Yalonde can find this old healer and what this individual knows. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, or click the playlist right here to catch up on episodes you've missed. Peace.